About part 2 of Chainsaw Man. I'm making this video like the day after, but this is going up like a week before the manga comes out. It was announced that Chainsaw Man part 2 is coming out like July 13th. I had this video idea for a minute, but I was putting it on the back burner to make other stuff. But this feels like the best time, so I'm finally making it. I'm gonna read like the last 10 chapters of Chainsaw Man before part 2 comes out, so I have a fresh imprint on where the first part ended, which was all in one arc apparently. It doesn't really feel like it though, since most fights don't feel related at all. You go from Denji fighting a Woobat to him fighting a Pedo Santa. You can divide it up, but it's all considered to be inside one arc, so part 2 is gonna be around the same length as the first part. But instead of Denji just going around doing random shit, he's gonna be in a school. At the Jump Fest reveal he had a school uniform on, so in between the time he had his mukbang and that Jump Fest update, he enrolled into a school, probably with Nayuta, the kid that reincarnated as a control devil. The story is gonna be a lot different from how it was before. It's gonna be a lot less chaotic with shit that happens on impulse. The arc's probably gonna be more about developing Denji as a character, at least for the beginning. It's gonna be a lot more like a slice of life. Maybe Denji getting a girlfriend, or him joining a school club. Anything to take a break from the shit that happened in part 1, and focus on building characters. I'm not a big fan of purely slice of life stuff, but it'd be a good change of pace for something like Chainsaw Man, cause Denji's the exact same as he was at the start. Probably even more fucked up actually, after having to kill Aki, and then Power dying, and then eating Makima like he's Nico Avocado. This nigga really had a shitty life, so I think the next arc's gonna be about building himself up. You can probably say that for most of the characters in Chainsaw Man. Most of them are the same since they were introduced. The ones that did change are all dead or fucked up in some type of way. Plus he has to go find Power, which I'm guessing will be inside the school. The main antagonist for Denji in the next part, at least for some portion of it, is probably gonna be Power. She lost all her memories, and she's just gonna back to being a regular devil. She made a contract with Denji to find her and bring her back, but I think that'll be way too convenient for how cruel the Chainsaw Man story is. We'll definitely see the Blood Devil again, but it won't be Power at all. At best she'll be a devil that's neutral to Denji, for some mutual benefit, and I wish she's gonna be trying to kill Denji and shit. With the type of storytelling Chainsaw Man's going for, that sounds a lot more likely to happen. There would be no way for that to happen without using the power of friendship, and Fujimoko doesn't sound like that type of author. If Nayuta ends up being an antagonist in part 2, it probably won't be until the end. Nayuta and Denji are definitely gonna end up having a sibling type of relationship, so it's gonna be hard imagining her turn on him. And if people learn that she's a control devil, a huge ass fight is gonna break out again, just like when people learned that Denji was the Chainsaw Man devil. Whatever happens in the first part, it's gonna contrast the first one a lot. Nigga's gonna go monk mode and start being more introspective. The first part feels like a blur for me. I read it all in like a day or two. I read it like half a year after it finished, so I just read it all at once. It goes at a really fucking fast pace, just killing devils and then moving on to the next one within 2 chapters. There might be a few people that complain about the story changing, since it's gonna be a lot different from the first part, but if there is any, it's gonna be a really small portion of people. Chainsaw Man probably has the best large fan base out of any big manga. It's more high teens, early adult centered, so you don't got crack babies complaining as much, but it has the most creative people I've seen in any anime community. There's even a running joke about the community making the anime for Chainsaw Man themselves, because there's just so many people creating different animations and art for the manga, and the comment threads on the manga sites are funny as fuck. I don't know if anyone else does this, but you can find some gems down there, bro. Why is Power this chapter so submissive and breedable? Die. I could excuse cannibalism if that bitch dies. Fucking hate her. Same. Cannibalism is pretty normal to be honest. You mean in the manga, right? Right? In my country we just use fat people, not any other type. These niggas be having NPC interactions, bro. Some people say it will be better as a seinen than a shonen, but honestly it benefits a lot from the censorship it has. Chainsaw Man already pushes the limit on what shonen does and doesn't allow, but some stuff still gets censored. For example, if Chainsaw Man was a seinen, the scene with Denji eating Makima will probably be a bit more detailed, but I think since it leaves it up to your imagination on that process, that scene has a lot more shock factor to it, and it just stands out a lot more on something like shonen, that can be more toned down than other magazines, especially since they're like the biggest magazine out there. It's on the extreme end of mangas that shonen has for older audiences, even though definitely a lot of people who read it are like 15 and below. A lot of people are into this shit at a younger age than people try to frame it as. When I was like 10 I thought South Park and Boondocks was peak cartoons. Butters and Uncle Ruckus were funny as fuck, but on paper it's meant for older audiences. If you enjoyed, comment and look at my other content. That's all I have to say though. Peace.